Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. And tonight we are talking about the 1981 post-apocalyptic action adventure with Mel Gibson called Mad Max 2 or The Road Warrior for our American friends. And I am joined by Fandad Menace. Always welcome to have you on.
Hello.
And the Inside Man, always welcome anytime. So
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Great film to talk about as well, I think.
great
Great
film.
choice.
With a great actor and directed by a bonkers director, and it's probably also one of the great examples of how to make a sequel from a very low budget exploitation movie that got a limited release in America, apparently, which is why in America it was called The Road Warrior and not Mad Max 2, because I'm guessing some people still weren't familiar with the first one, so they didn't want to confuse them.
Yeah, I think talking of the American market, I think it's really patronising of the American distributors to want these movies dubbed into American voices because they
Yeah,
feel that the audience wouldn't respond to it.
I never got that because they speak in English. They just have an
Mm,
Australian accent, and
yeah,
I know. And what Americans can't understand anything that's not their accent, apart from mine, of course. It's it's a
That
bit
cool
sweet.
factor, isn't it? It's that
yeah,
cool sort of
yeah.
American drawl.
But I think it's really down to the presumption on their behalf that American audiences or audiences in general are dumb.
Yeah,
And I think it's such a patronizing way of approaching any kind of movie making. Assume your audience are complete dummies, and we'll take it from here. I mean, come on. They did the same with the Long Good Friday, by the way.
Yeah.
they
Hello,
still
Mr.
do it
Ray.
to this very day, though, don't they? They still
Yeah, they still underestimate the audience. You're right
the
there,
Yeah.
Fandad.
producers or whoever's in charge are like, oh,
Yeah.
you feel stupid when you go to watch some movies. You
Mm.
think, like, can we not just work this stuff out for ourselves? Obviously not.
Yeah, because what you said earlier, I mean, I think they wanted to change him to a Wolverhampton accent for the American audience, and it's like, wait, what? He's supposed to be a
Mm.
fucking Cockney lad. What are you on
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Like, Americans know what fucking Cockneys sound like. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the Wolverhampton accent would have been even worse.
Dire.
Yeah. The older, what is it they call the bless their hearts, but what is it they call them, yam yams? Yeah.
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 But I think America has been getting more accustomed to different accents now. Like we had Daphne and Fraser, who was
Mm.
more of a northern lass, while
Yeah.
we had lately we've had Peaky Blinders with the Brummie accent, and
Yeah.
and then we had Hot Fuzz as well with the West Country accent, where everyone talks a bit like that, and it's kind of made it sound like that. Yeah, hello, Mystery. How you doing, man? Yes, we are cool. Not dumb, just less smart. I think my roommate in college was Cockney, so hopefully he educated you and hopefully he became a very good dialect coach. So yeah, I hope you're having a good Friday, Mystery, and I hope you have a good weekend as well. Mad Max 2, and apparently I think they started off with George Miller wanting to. I think because he had a lot of frustration with the first one, and he wanted to sort of like try and work on maybe what he thought he could improve on the first one with this sequel, and I think he actually achieved that job. It does feel a lot more. It feels more professional, but at the same time, it has not lost that low budget exploitation style.
Yeah, because it was still, albeit a better looking production, more professional. It still only had a budget of about $4 million, I think.
Terry, thanks for joining us.
Was that sorry? Was that Australian dollars? $4 million
Australian dollars. 4.5 million Australian dollars, and it did 36 at the box office, which is pretty good going, to be fair.
Amazing,
that's pretty good going. But I think what he did was he took all the mistakes that he learned from the first, horror of a film, according to his good self. You probably know this yourself, Gary. He edited the movie in his kitchen on an old HKS viewing machine because they ran out of money to do the editing, and it took him 9 months to a year to edit the movie. While his mate was in the lounge, Byron Kennedy was in the lounge doing the sound. He was in the kitchen putting it all together. So he went through the entire movie, obviously cutting it and reshaping it and whatever, and then just saw how many mistakes he made and just applied that knowledge to the second one.
Well, needs must when the devil drives, as they say.
100%. But obviously, he was a great visionary as well. People speak very highly of his directing techniques.
Yeah,
it's got very good. It's got very hyper realistic style as well to his visuals. That really adds to it. Like he can do the Dutch angles, and he makes it work. He speeds up his cars as well because, and it's not, and it wasn't really just a very style thing. It was because apparently something to do with the terrain was preventing the vehicles from moving.
It is. It's when you're in it, when you're in a cityscape and you've got buildings flashing past you, if you're doing chase sequences, it's going to look really fast. But when you're out in the middle of a desert and there's nothing but sky there, obviously the hung the cameras really low to the ground to give it that sense of speed. I think the shot at 22 frames a second as well instead of 24.
Wow!
To give it more of an edgy sort of staccato look to it. So
that's actually a really interesting point to make. When you're in a cityscape and you have something for reference, when you have something for reference and it's 30, 40 miles away in the distance, you have no concept of the speed that these things are going. I think it's called the parallax view, isn't it? Where a shift of there's kind of a perspective shift in terms of what's closest to the camera and how you can see behind it when you flash past it and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's called parallax. But it's a really interesting point actually.
I do like the fact that it still looks very low budget, even though the budget is a bit better. The cars look like they've been gone through a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of rust and everything, and bumps and dents on them and everything, and they look like they've all been cobbled together, which is which feels very realistic as well. Because when you watch the first one, the world is on the verge of coming to an end. Around them, there's still some people trying to at least keep some kind of civilization, still some moral. I forgot the term, but they're still trying to keep some decency and some humanity left. But now everything's just gone. Now everything's gone. Everyone is out for themselves, and this is definitely and Max has definitely become this guy just lost amongst the waste. But Mel Gibson does it very well. As I think even if you didn't have the first film and you saw this for the first time, you could probably still get an idea of why he is doing what he is doing or how he has become the way he is.
Yeah, it's even though it's low budget and it still looks low budget, I like that low budget look. I like that. I don't like. You know me. I don't like my movies to look too slick and too clean. I like a dirty, grubby looking movie, and this feels grubby. It's by the end of the movie, you actually do feel like you need to jump in the shower to sort of wash off the sand and dust. It does feel like that.
What lends itself to this movie as well, like Gary, what you're saying about sort of low budget and you like that sort of aesthetic. If you look at the landscape and where the world is at this point in time, like everything's low budget because there is no money or currency or anything. There's no chance of sort of refurbishing cars or any sort of upkeep, respraying. You've got what you've got. It's gonna rust. It's not gonna last forever, and it's what kind of world you're in from the outset in this movie.
Exactly.
I think it could probably stand on its own, this movie, without actually seeing the first one.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I think the first one does lend a little bit to it, sort of, who Max is and what he's been through.
And we do get a recap and
then you get a nice sort of sense of the whole world's obviously gone to shit since the world that we saw before that. But I think you can tell there's a definite change in. I don't know what happened to Mel Gibson in the couple of years I think, was it 2 or 3 years since the first one, and he come back looking more sort of grizzled and chiseled, and you could definitely tell he'd matured just in his face. He looked more of a warrior, if you like.
And he was still very young. I think he was in his late 20s when he did this, but he looks older.
Yeah.
It's like they've done something to make him look more aged and more gruffer and
might be the leather jacket.
But there has been some people sort of confused to why he has why one arm is bare in the leather jacket, but if you watch the first one, he's injured his arm, hasn't he? So if he went to the hospital, they probably would have cut the arm off his jacket just to stitch him up or fix him.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that he has not tried to get a new jacket. You know, it's like that's the thing he wore when he took on the killers of his wife and child, and that's going to stay with him.
Yeah,
that's his badge of honor, isn't it? His jacket, and he's
that's it. That's him. That's his reminder of his failure to save his family.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, it's kind of his combat gear, isn't it? It's part of his combat gear, and in fact, it's kind of his skin, isn't it? I mean, this is it really is. It's kind of part of him. So where did we first see this? Where did you first see this one, Northern?
I think it was maybe over 10 years ago. I had seen the first Mad Max movie some years before. I will admit I did not like it at first. I thought it was a little bit too over the top, a little bit too surreal at times, but I gradually started to grow to like it, and I did start to see a little bit of the charm that was in it, and I get why it was considered a cult classic. And then years later, I see the sequel, and I thought, okay, the things I thought was wrong with the first one, this has improved on this. It does feel mature. I really feel what Max is going through. I feel his pain, that the guilt he has to live with. And that scene where the leader of the oil rig calls him out, calls him a maggot, and he's out there with the garbage. I mean, that was so great as well, because he's kind of right. He's let his pain just fucking consume him and reduce him to nothing. But that's also what makes it a great part of his this character journey. And he regains a little bit of that humanity. He shows that there's still some hope to him. Also, the car chase was just fucking fantastic at the end. The tanker chase, sorry. It is absolutely brilliant. I mean, it just got my adrenaline pumping. I thought, oh God, this real stuff is happening as well. I mean, these people are really nearly getting themselves killed just to provide an excellent scene.
It's ridiculous the lengths they went to bring this movie to the theaters.
Agreed.
When you think about, I didn't see a single motorbike helmet in the entire movie. I was thinking, I watched it today, and I just thought to myself, you're a bunch of lunatics. The only people that had helmets were the people driving the cars, and they had them sort of black and silver helmets on. All the other lads are just driving around on their motorbikes doing their thing. With no protection whatsoever. It's just mad.
We'll get to them as well, because some of the costumes they have is very unique, and there is little backstories as well. And yet, Mystery, this was a great sequel. The third, I was a teen at its release, and we purposely retold the Where's the Tina song to say we don't need another sequel. And I'll mention that in a minute, but first I'll ask Fandad and Inside Man, what were the first times they saw Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior? So yeah, Fandad, go ahead. First time you saw...
First time I saw it was... he's still in the chat, Ray. Say hi. Me and Ray Terry watched it in his, because he had a VHS machine and we didn't, because he was the posh lad up the street. I think we saw the first one and this one in the hello, Ray. Saw this and must have seen this in the same VHS. It must have been probably a year after it came out of the theaters. Like, the release windows was sort of like that. Saw the first one, wasn't overly impressed by it. There was some good set pieces in it, a little bit of violence, but it was that fact that it was dubbed on that version that it always throws me off a film when anything's dubbed. It doesn't matter what it is, because it doesn't feel like they are saying what they are saying. If you get what I mean. I always prefer either the sort of original language, and I'll watch things with subtitles. Just
totally understandable.
Yeah. But with this one, my God, in heaven. It was just, I don't even know how to describe it. Like every single thing about this film just smacks of just violence. Every part of the landscape and everything just permeates you with violence from the outset. From the first scene, we see him being chased by those marauders, and he's in obviously in great danger. There's crashes happening around him. He pulls up and he goes to open the door of that big rig, and everything around him sharp and pointy and cutty and horrible. The desert's coarse and dry, all the vegetation spiky and awful. And then we get into the things like, we'll get to it obviously, but when those people try and escape from the compound, and Max and the gyro captain are up on the lookout at the top of that hill, and that guy gets killed, and then that woman gets assaulted and then murdered. I couldn't believe my eyes. I don't think I'd ever come across something so graphic.
And it's never shown either. It's never shown. You just see the look on gyro captain's face, and it's like,
that's where I was coming to. Like his reaction to that was all you need to know. Like even he hadn't seen, for all he belongs to that world, even he hadn't seen that level of sort of horror. But yeah, you know what sort of world you're in, and it never lets up throughout the entire. It's always moving. There's always something going on. There's always that sense of dread, that sense of danger, and you're just fighting for your life constantly.
But it's not just a world that's completely inhospitable, is it? It's a world that's completely, it's full of cruelty. Every part of this world is just cruel.
And then you got these bunch of people who are trying to still retain that humanity in a world that's just gone wrong. And because you need that, it does kind of give a little bit of hope. Like no matter how bad things get, still
you need that yin, the yin and yang sort of thing, don't you?
Because I call them the oil rig people because they are kind of like the yin and yang, aren't they? To the marauders. The marauders are out for themselves, and they're just embracing the chaos. They're trying to still bring us back from the brink of chaos.
Even they're just trying to survive as well. It's like you would call them the baddies in any other sort of given context, but then they're just trying to survive as well. Are they baddies or just antagonists to the protagonists? They're doing what they can to survive, and well, other things besides. But horrific.
So Inside Man, first time you came across Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior?
It was on a surprise. It was on a pirate VHS that my cousin lent me. The film had just come out in the cinemas, and he got hold of this pirate VHS copy, and I borrowed it for about 3 or 4 weeks, and he kept, coming round and asking me for it back, and I kept saying, "Oh, it's I still haven't watched it. I'm going to watch it." But in reality, I was actually passing it around all my schoolmates, and and getting a few quid for it at the same time. So I'd bring these movies in and rent them to my mates for like 50p a pop, So that was the first time I saw it, and it was actually a very, very good copy as well. I don't know whether it had come straight from the print. It certainly wasn't a copy that was videoed in the cinema. It was a very, very good copy, and I was just completely blown away. As you say, I mean, the horror of this world is, it's completely unpalatable. Fortunately, when the closed credits start to roll, we know we're actually back in reality again. But it's an incredibly immersive movie.
You feel like everything's gone to shit around you, but you can't help but want to jump back into that bleak world again and again.
And that's the beauty of movies. I think if you have a movie like this that is immersive, that does completely capture you, and draws you in, it is what movies are. They are escapism, for all intents and purposes. And this is a prime example of an escapist movie that we can escape from as well at the end. I love it. It's a personal favorite of mine. I do like the first one, but I think, like yourself, actually, Northern, it was a case of um, I had to watch it a few times, and I kind of wasn't seeing things that other people were seeing when I first saw the first one. Um, and I suppose with a little bit of additional maturity, you start to understand things more. I mean, I saw them both as a child, as a quite a young child. Certainly, the first one as a very young child. Um, but that maturity, you start to draw different things out of the stories and out of the aesthetics. Um, but it took me a little bit of a time really for the first one. With this one, it was much simpler. It was a straight in, you know exactly what you're going to get, and I completely agree with Fandad. This is or could well be a standalone movie.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
also, it could also become a grim reality if the just stop oil nutbags get their own way.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
You could also make an
100%.
argument that because it's mostly told by the point of view of the feral kid, who we don't find out until the end that he's the one narrating. You're hearing the voice of this old man who's very articulate, and he's recapping the whole why the world has gone to end. Everything's just gone to shit. So yeah, I'll get the slides up. Give me a second. So.
The narrator, my life fades, the vision dims, all that remains are memories. I remember a time of chaos, ruined dreams, this wasted land. But most of all, I remember the road warrior, the man we called Max. Thank you.
Very good.
And it's good because Mad Max got a limited release, and I don't know if England did as well. I don't know how well known the first one was in England before this came out. But this is a very good sort of way of recapping what's happened in the previous film to add context to anyone who did see it, because this was kind of like you had to catch it on TV when you could. You couldn't just record it on video anytime you wanted. They were kind of like to see a film was like repeated watchings was kind of something that wasn't very well known just back then. But it's a very good recap. It fills you in on all the information you need, and then it cuts to Max. It's like a few years later now. He's lost everything. He's just nothing now. He's just this guy. He's just this drifter, this scavenger, just riding down the road like a bat out of hell. His interceptor's all upgraded, but he has got this little dog, and here's a very good indication that there is still kind of a part of him that has some kind of compassion, and he obviously cares about this dog. And I'm pretty sure you already have a bit of trivia on the dog of this, so yeah, who wants to go first?
I haven't. I think it's a cattle dog. I think it's a blue heeler. He's a vicious little bastard.
Yeah, the story on the dog is actually very interesting. Apparently, he was about to be put down, but because some producers came in and saw the dog picking up a rock and playing with it like it was a toy, they thought, okay, let's have this dog. Let's use this dog for Mad Max. Then he's about to be put down anyway. Let's actually keep him alive a little longer, and he was adopted. So yeah, some good came out of hiring this cute little bastard.
Yeah.
Was his name Max?
Apparently it's dog, just dog.
Oh, yeah, keep it simple, might as well.
Yeah, and there is some kind of connection as well. Like he has a red bandana, and I think Max has a red bandana on his arm later on, or has he got it on now? I can't remember. But he's already getting chased by these marauders, and one of them's dressed up like the police officers of a town before everything went to shit. And it's like, okay, was this a former police officer that decided to join the gangs, or did he steal it off a police officer that he killed? It's you never know, and I kind of like not knowing that kind of thing.
But this opening scene puts you right in the middle of where you need to be. You don't need to be told anything else. You get that monologue and that whole recap. I think that was just for the benefit of people who hadn't actually seen the first movie.
Yeah,
like we've
it
said
definitely
before,
was.
you didn't really need to do that anyway. But then it throws you into this, and you think, Jesus Christ, this is like slightly upscaled from the last movie. If you have seen it, just the whole violence and desperation just to get one tank of fuel from a car that they're chasing.
Yeah,
I know.
Ironically,
That's the world. That's what the world has been reduced to. Just scavenging for like just a fifth of petrol from
any
some
resources you can get your hands on.
Yeah,
The irony being here is that you're using so much fuel to try and catch the guy to get the fuel back that you've used to chase him.
Yeah, they surprisingly do have a lot of fuel. That's one of the few little plot holes in this movie, but we kind of go along with it though. A lot of people have asked this, and we go along with it. But it's still pretty cool. It's like it's not the big chase yet, but it does still feel very adrenaline pumping. So obviously they tried to one of them tries to launch one of the bolts from his car, but he accidentally gets Wes, played by Vernon Wells from Commando, who
lit off some steam.
Yeah,
Bennett, gonna kill you, John. I'm gonna kill you, John.
now he comes across this abandoned truck and
big rig.
Yeah, and he sees a good chance to get some more petrol, some gasoline from it, and it's all leaking all over. And I think a bit of blood is actually mixing into it, which is very symbolic of the kind of world that they're living in, which I thought was nice.
Yeah. It's coming out the guy that's upside down in that little desert wagon, isn't it? He's just
and we see him as well. It's a very gruesome little image that you only see like less than a second of.
Bloody fingers.
Yeah. And
I always wondered why it had Earth painted on the side of the rig when you see it later on.
I wonder.
It's got a big tarpaulin on the side of the carriage on the back saying the vermin have inherited thee, and then they've painted Earth on the door. So the vermin have inherited the Earth.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was like an extermination truck or something, and and because the world went to shit, some smart ass decided to cover the last word with Earth, which I thought was very clever. That's actually very clever. That. Yeah, and I don't like it when Wes just pulls the arrow out and he barely winces. It's like, and we're already getting an idea. This guy is a fucking psycho. He is a total psycho, and I kind of assumed that this blonde guy was his gay lover, but I learned earlier in the trivia that he was kind of this lad that he took in as a surrogate son. But at the end of the day, there was gonna mention it, but George Miller said, "You know what? Just invent your own backstory." So he could be his gay lover, he could be a surrogate son. We don't know. We never know. All we know is that he really cares for it. And it kind of humanizes him a bit as well. I mean, he's a fucking nut job, but yeah, he does have a little bit of a sympathetic moment later when the feral kid kills him.
Yeah. He's like, oh, God, I'm not getting any backdoor action tonight. Shit. Any offers, anyone else?
That kind of reminds me as well, because they wear a lot of fucking old school 1980s leather gear, don't they? It's like they've got arseless chaps and everything. But
do you know about that? Do you know the I think it was the costume lady or the wardrobe department head of lady used to walk to I think it was the production office every day, and she used to walk past an S&M shop. Went in and spoke to the owner, and they sorted her out with like most of the costumes, if not all of the costumes, with the assless chaps and the spiky sort of throat collars and stuff like that. That's where she got them from.
Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
Just like on the off chance.
Yeah.
I do like it when fucking gangs in an apocalyptic future just wear shit for the sake of it. It's just
who cares, isn't it? Really, it's anything goes. Really, I guess if it's gonna like break down into a lawless territory and there's no other option than to sort of go off with your boyfriend, if you like.
I think Mr. E just mentioned gay lover, surrogate son. I would not be surprised if
might just be a gay
son. Wells probably might have been a bit of a groomer, but it's because they don't really have many morals, these Marauders, do they? They're kind of they're up for raping, they're up for killing.
Yeah.
Just for little things.
That guy on the back of the bike, was a courier. He was delivering something to the production office, and I don't know if it was George Miller or what they call the other producer. Was it Byron Kennedy? Said, there he is, blonde. What's his name? Blonde-haired youth or something like that. That's him there. That's him there. Go and grab him. Sent one of the production girls out into the car park to get hold of him. Do you want to be in a movie? And that the rest is history, apparently.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for the guy's name, but I don't know. I probably might not recognize him because sometimes they put pictures of the actor as they look now, and he could look a lot different. But we'll have to have a look.
Get on that IMDb.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell! Randomly go onto another page, but trying to take too long doing it. But yeah, for some reason, it's movie database is bloody weird. I'll look him up later anyway. But so yeah, now it comes across. Now he tries to scavenge from this abandoned truck, but apparently the guy is still kind of alive for a little bit. But then he dies, and he just falls down. It's like, it is a gruesome image. It's only there for a few seconds though, but you got the eyes coming out. His face is disfigured. Everything. It's nasty. It's a good little jump scare as well, but I do love this little moment where he just winds up the little music box mechanism, and you can tell it's bringing something back to him, something that he has not remembered in a long time or felt in a long time.
It's like a sense of civilization, isn't it? Because it's music.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear anything on the radio at this point.
Yeah, it's like it also kind of brings back a little bit of innocence as well. Like maybe it's a reminder of the child he lost.
Yeah, because it's a child. Well, it's like a childlike thing, isn't it? Does it play Happy Birthday or something like that?
Well, it does kind of end up relating to him being a bit of a father figure to the feral kid, because he passes it down to him. Like, he doesn't know this kid, but he sees the innocence in him, and it reminds him of his son. That that something is probably been suppressing for such a long time, and you can see that in his face. No words are said. Once again, show, don't tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Good point.
Yeah. So he comes across this very weird-looking flying machine, but it's abandoned. So obviously he's going to try and see if he can scavenge anything from it, but then he sees the snake, and he grabs it really quickly as well before the snake can get him, and this is where you get the gyrocopter coming out of the sand, and played by the legendary Bruce Spencer. He's such a darling. I love this guy. He is.
It's probably one of the only parts in the film that I picked fault with, and it was only probably today that I did it. When he jumps out the sand, I just thought to myself, why is he underground with a sort of sheet over him with sand over the top of it? Who was he actually waiting for? Is that where he sleeps, or why would you do such a thing? Because if he heard the car coming along the road, I don't think he would have had time to jump in his hole, and I don't know. That's the order.
I think he's been doing this a lot. I think he's a very patient man, because he looks like a buffoon. You think he kind of comes across a little bit Weasley when you first see him, but he ends up kind of being a very cool, very resilient guy when he needs to be. He's very smart, and he's kind of got his little character arc as well, and he sort of like becomes a bit more human as the film goes on. Because like Max, he's a bit of a scavenger as well. He's probably just waiting for the next arsehole to come over so he can rob them.
But I think there's also something quite feral about that, something quite animalistic about that. The way he's kind of submerged himself in the sand. Something's almost slightly reptilian, if you like.
Yeah, was he Mystery? Ah, that's awesome. Yeah. So what was you saying inside, man? Sorry about that.
Yeah. I just think there's something slightly, slightly reptilian about his secreting himself in the sand. Something quite feral about that. So, quite animalistic. Him, keeping himself in the sand. Maybe it's a cooling thing. I don't know.
It could be.
But it is a very kind of a bestial thing to do, I think.
Yeah.
It could have been that. Yeah, he could have been sleeping. He could have been doing all three. Because he does seem to be like a guy who's been doing this for a while as well. He's been using. He mentioned before that Max is the only guy to beat the snake, so he's been doing this a lot. Been putting that snake there to set people up with. But he's definitely not. He's not. He doesn't come across as as someone who's actually very tough. But he is very smart. He probably can be very sneaky when he needs to, and that's how he's survived this long.
Yeah. Yeah, using the environment rather than the environment swallowing him up, you know.
Yeah, and this is the scene that shows he is very smart as well, because he orders Max to turn off the switch that could blow his car up if he tries to steal it, and he already recognizes that he may have a hidden knife under there. So Max complies. But thankfully he's not smart enough to outwit Max's dog, who just gets the drop on him. So yeah. But then Max is about to threaten him. He's about to kill him. But Gyro Captain says, "Like, listen, I know we can get loads of gasoline. Okay, you know it's too dangerous for me, but someone like you probably could." So now Max has something to has a goal to strive for now, and but he needs the Gyro Captain as well to direct him. And I do love this. This is very funny. He's like just tied up to this car with the dog holding the shotgun, and he sees a rabbit as well, and he's scared that the dog might flinch, and that bullet, that fucking trigger might get pulled and blow his head off. It's very funny, and it does feel very George Miller-like as well.
I think it's what keeps this movie it makes it work better than just having constant violence. Would be such a chore to slog through. You have these moments of levity to punctuate that sort of horror, if you like.
Yeah, I think as an audience, you're right. I think as an audience, we need a bit of breathing space, don't we? You know,
it's never slapstick, or it's just the right amount. I think George Miller's nailed it, to be honest. Just the right amount of sort of levity to give you a sort of breather, and then back in again for another slog of horror depravity.
So Inside Man, I know you got to hop off right now. Which stream are you on at the moment? Is it?
I'm doing Sweeney and Sweeney 2 with Lance, and that's on in about 10 minutes. So at Carl's Creative channel. So
so I'll let you get off unless you want to stay on a little longer before you do. It's up to you.
I think I need to get on now, because we're going to have a little sort of prep before we start. And
nice one.
But listen, thanks ever so much for allowing me to come on this. I do appreciate it, Fandad. It's always a pleasure being with you, and you, Northern, obviously. And I wish I could stay. I really genuinely wish I could stay, because I love this movie so much.
I sent you a couple of texts, Gary. I don't know if you managed to.
Yes, mate. I did call you. I think about a week.
Last Saturday, I was just on the way out the door to a birthday party. So
I will text you, and I'll message you on X as well, mate.
All right, nice one,
but,
nice to see you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we'll all catch up again very soon, I'm sure.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Thanks again. Cheers.
Cheers, fam.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, what a shit movie. Liza Minnelli was awful in it. Oh wait, wrong film. All right, RT man, how you doing? So then we head up to where the oil rig is as well, and I really do like this. I love the patience as well. It shows Max has grown to be a bit more tactical as well, you know.
Definitely. I mean, look at that scenery as well, though. We've got to give hats off to the director of photography. I forget his name. But
let's have a look. Director of photography. Cast and crew.
What was he called? Something.
It's not saying it.
Dean Semler. That was him. Dean Semler. I don't think he'd done a feature film. I think he was into adverts and stuff like that, and TV shows or something. But George Miller decided to give him a chance. Mate, I'm going to have to go and grab my charger for my laptop. I'll be like 2 seconds because my battery's about to run out.
So I'll read a few comments just in case. All right. So yeah, how are you doing, you beautiful bastards in the comments? It's good to be back doing this stuff as well. Bastard's breakdown. So yeah, the dog's names influenced my name of my healer dog. Yeah, call a dog, call dog. Yeah, why not? So the environment helps in this movie. The vast and empty landscape leads to an inescapable bordering on agoraphobia. Yeah, too fucking right, man. Yeah, good old pirated VHS. One of the ways I made money in high school. Oh, I tried to do that one day with, but DVD market took over, and I was too late. I was just too late. So yeah, rated, but it was rated. Love that. I love that. We didn't have ratings back then. Yeah, I think you had. I don't know if you had some like X ratings, something like that, but it was mostly for movies that were the studios were very hesitant about releasing. So yeah, but I don't think they should fucking still have ratings. I think it's all bullshit. I've seen a few PG movies that have very extremely violent moments that should be in an 18, but you know, just let people decide for themselves if they can decide. Let people decide if they can handle the more violent stuff. So yeah, most kids do. Most kids are very desensitized to that kind of thing and can handle it very well. So there's some grown-ups who can't handle the more extreme stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50. Sometimes I get moments. Sometimes I see moments in movies that make me a little bit squeamish. Other times I'm like, it's not a big deal. Depends on the execution and how well the violence is done on screen. Pop Goes the Weasel is the tune it plays. Yeah, but yeah, it's a very innocent tune, and I think it does help having that little innocent tune to sort of add a little contrast to Max's more stoic demeanour, while also being related to his trauma, to the guilt that he couldn't, the guilt of not rescuing his wife and son. Fellow Kid was based on my brother. I swear, I would love to see that. I would love to see a picture of that. I believe you though. Yeah, I did mention this before. He could have been sleeping, hiding, and keeping the heat off him while sleeping. Yeah, he could have done. Yeah, it seems like a very good tactic as well. At the same time, I mean, you are more the expert on this. You've been in the army, so you know that stuff more than I will. But yeah, I do get that as well. Keeping the heat off because you got that big blistering heat as well in the desert, and you need to keep in the shade, otherwise you'll just fucking burn to a crisp in it. But from what I heard in the from what I heard about the movie, it was actually fucking cold. Despite its appearance, it was actually cold. I mean, even with all that leather Mel was wearing, he was still freezing. And the lads with the arseless chaps weren't really having a good time as well, because apparently the lady that owned the bus would let them go in just to warm their asses up because of how fucking cold it was. So, so I always love these little tidbits in movies, these little nuggets that you get, about what was happening while they were making these movies, and it really does make the production more interesting. I think that's why I still like watching videos on movies in production that was going through a lot of production hell, I should say. Yeah, so there's a film called Mad Max with Liza Minnelli. I probably might avoid that. I don't know, unless there is some comedy value to go into it. And yeah, I don't want to press on too much for the movie because without Fandad. But I hope everyone had a good Christmas.
Hello.
Hello, you're back, Len. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Having technical difficulties here. I can't get me MacBook to plug in because one of the ports isn't working, and the other port is what I've got all my sound gear running through. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got 12% of battery left. So we could crack on, and then I'll just see if I can switch it over. I've tried to switch it over to the normal speakers and MacBook microphone, but I can't get any sound to come out of the MacBook. So I'm going to have to look into that. We'll see how far we get.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then I'll probably have to nip off and try and sort of fix something for 10 or 15 minutes, if that's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that.
All received, or was it the third one? I can't remember. I don't know. Yeah. I think this might have still been a cult classic. I don't know. I think someone in chat, please feel free to.
I think this one did pretty well, actually. It made like 7 times its budget or something ridiculous.
Yeah, Fandad, you explaining technology to someone still using potatoes as a power source.
Yeah, I guess.
This doesn't working very well, thankfully. The guy played Saw, Cutter, and Immortan Joe isn't in this one, is he? I've not noticed him. I know he's in Mad Max Fury Road as well as the first one, but I don't know if it is. He's very well hidden. But there was a hint that the Humongous was Goose from the first movie, hint all the bands, but thankfully they've not revealed that. But we do. I think there might still be some hints that it's him, but I like to think it's not him though.
I think wasn't Tor Cutter killed in the first one?
Yeah, and I think
isn't he the one that looks like Benny Hill?
Yeah, they got the same actor to play the villain in Fury Road.
Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. The Immortan Joe, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Then again, Bruce Spence is in the third one as another pilot.
Ah, he is. He's got better teeth in the third one as well.
Yeah, I know. It's not like
I did notice that, so I knew immediately it wasn't the same character.
Yeah, my screenshots just went off for some reason, so I just need to skip forward to
more technical difficulties are being experienced this evening.
Yeah, because I need to get back to that scene where they're watching the oil rig. So, what's going on here? Got a bloody ad popping up for some reason.
It's all happening tonight, mate. It's is it? It's not the 13th, is it? No, it's Friday the 24th. Well, that might have been.
Going on here?
What the devil?
What is going on? I keep getting the bloody ads going on here. Why? Every time I get the bloody screen. Here we go. Screenshot. Okay. Oh, I hate when this happens. So, yeah, let's get back to... Yeah, so I've got to skip over a little bit. Give me a second. Yeah, so we're at the scene where they're at the oil rig as well, and he's basically looking for a good opportunity to get in there, but of course the marauders are all over the place. Some of the people on the oil rigs are trying to get out to try and find I don't know what to do. They're trying to make some runs with the oil, but the marauders just keep catching them and attacking them, and it's not looking good for them as well. You can tell the people on the oil rigs are very, very desperate at the moment. So let me get the screenshot on. Get that off. Do apologise for that. I have no idea what's happening. Bloody adverts popping up when I'm trying to get the screenshots up. Even with the ad blocks on. Annoying. Yeah, you keep sorting that out on this through. This is where we meet Humongous as well, and that is a good look as well, even if it is a little gay. Fucking hell. That Wes is actually part of the Humongous and that gang. Yeah, so we'll cut to a day later, and I just love that as well. Once again, Max is very patient. He's learned a lot now. He's just waiting for the opportunity. He's got nothing else better to do, and he's eating dog food. It's because, if all things run out, you need all your protein, and the last resort will be dog food. Not nice, but yeah, it's called survival, and I love that Bruce is really willing to eat some dog food as well. He's just hungry, but no, the dog just nearly goes for it. Yeah, and obviously because this must have been very nice for Mel Gibson because he was wearing that blanket and it was very, very cold. Yeah, the Marauders are just not letting up. They are not giving up. They will they will keep going for that precious, precious gasoline. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, RT, when I was at law school, we read a case that involved Broken Hill, Australia. The professor made a joke about Road Warrior. They used the locals as extras and didn't need to give them costumes. Yeah, there's a lot of people from Broken Hill who was part of that. Well, I think the feral kid that little backflip the feral kid did was a stunt woman from Broken Hill. So yeah, there are a few references there. I was the only person who laughed because most of the class were fucking millennial. Yeah, and then I see you back. Yeah, David Wilson, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm going to try and see if we can do this a bit more regularly. It's been a while. I need to get back into it. I don't keep the channel going as well, and
how are we doing? I think me difficulties have been overcome. I hope.
yeah. So it's always when you least need it to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the scene that you were mentioning as well, where
this is what kind of really disturbed me as a teenager.
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
I've only been like 14 or 15. I know they're a bit more advanced nowadays, and they're a bit more sort of what's the word? They're just sort of numb to this kind of thing these days.
Yeah.
For what they watch on the internet. But at the time, I was like, my God, what is happening here? It was so sort of blatant and in your face and very like nonchalant, if you like, the way that the guys carried out what they did, the assault and then the subsequent sort of murder of that young lass was just awful. Even though
they're just
off
fucking,
camera, it was
have the way with it and kill it. It's
horrendous.
I know. And that's like she served their usefulness now. Just dispose of it. And I like how Max is a little bit more stoic as well. He's not happy about watching it, but he's like desensitized to it. Well, Gyro Captain is actually really, really horrified. Yeah, he's had to do a lot to survive though, but I think he's not seen enough of this to be numb to. It's and it shows that he's a good guy still as well. I mean, yeah, he's a little bit of a weasel and a little bit of a scavenger, just a bit of a vulture like Mad Max is, but there is still lines that he will not cross. I mean, and there's still things. He's still human enough to be horrified by such an act.
He is. He's obviously a survivor, but he still clings to those ethics and morals.
Yeah,
from days gone by.
Yeah, and the fact that this guy, and he's already getting his gear back on, this rapist is, and he just gives Max this dumb little smile as well. He tries to reach for the crossbow, but Max just cracks him over the head with this. I think it's a spanner or a wrench, something like that.
It's a bolt cutter. Yeah,
bolt cutter. Yeah, bolt cutter. That's it. That's it. Yeah, because
it's quite a tool.
Yeah, and one of the guys that was attacked and shot with the bow is dying as well, but Max has found a good way to get in now. He just needs the gasoline, and the guy promises him, yes, anything you want, just get me back just let me get back so I can get mended. And this is where you first meet the feral kid as well, and that kid is a legend. I mean, fucking, he still keeps that boomerang as well, by the way.
He is good. Emil Minty, isn't he?
I know. I mean, he's only a little actor, but he actually does come across like a real little animalistic kid. He's like, he don't need to say anything as well. He's very expressive, but there's still an innocence to him as well, despite how wild he is. Yeah. So now drives him back to the oil rig, and obviously they're trying to get one of their men to get him some help, some medical help. And Max is desperately telling them, listen, I just made a deal with this guy. I need to get the gasoline. So this is Pellegrino, if I'm pronouncing his name right. Let me look it up again.
Pellegrino, that's lemonade.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Papadillo. Papadillo.
Played by Michael Preston. He's and he's very good as well. I mean, he's obviously, we see a little bit that he's the leader, and he's definitely the moral compass trying to keep these people together and not lose their humanity. Yeah,
he the man.
Yeah, and he's definitely the one picked to be the voice of reason by Papagallo. That's him.
Papagallo, that's him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do like this character as well. He's obviously, he probably has not made the choice to be the leader, but people saw him that way anyway. Yeah, and this guy on the left is asking him, there was a woman, what happened to the woman? And she's dead. And I don't know if it's a brother or her husband, but we do get a little bit. And I love the fact that they're all kind of wearing brighter clothing while the Marauders are mostly in black.
I noticed that, like, they're all quite clean, aren't they?
Yeah, well, in comparison anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're very, and I like the fact that even Max is dressed in black, which makes them a bit more skeptical to him.
Yeah, he stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, unfortunately, the guy dies, and Max is kind of like held captive now. He's their prisoner, and his car has been is now held because and now whatever, and it's what Pellegrino says. If you had a deal with this guy, it died along with him. And then we get what's her name? Is it Victoria Hale plays this gladiator-looking woman?
Warrior Woman, Virginia.
Yeah, Warrior Woman. Yeah, because they don't really have proper names, do they? They're just like Warrior Woman, this guy and that guy, the Indian guy, pilot guy, blah blah blah.
The captain.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. The
mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good actress as well. I've actually seen her in a few. Virginia Hare, that's it. Warrior Woman.
Yeah, Virginia Hare. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was when I was looking up a little bit of facts about this, I discovered she has unfortunately suffered from some real bad cancer, like some bone cancer, lymph cancer, everything. She's in remission, but there's always a chance it could come back. And for her sake, I really hope it doesn't, because she has been in a few. She's been in Farscape as well. She was the bald blue woman, Zan, I think her name was. It's been a long time, but I was like, oh shit, that's her.
Aye, Farscape. Living Daylights she was in.
Yes, she was. What was it? Pushkin's wife? No, the guy who Rhys Davis played in Living Daylights. Was it Pushkin? Was it Moskov?
Yeah, one of those.
Moskov, yeah. Yeah, yeah. We actually got to see a fucking sad boob in that movie, and that was a PG film. Yeah, she's a gorgeous woman, and she looks boss in that outfit as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we got. I always like to call him Apocalyptic Mr. Smee because of his glasses and the fact that he is kind of like a little bit of a right hand man to boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is another good example showing that these guys do not fuck about, mate. They will mess you up. They will parade you around if you're their enemy. If you make them your enemy,
will make you be upside down on the front of a car.
Yeah, got the oil tunnel, the rock and roller, humongous. And it's good as well. He's got this great voice as well. He's like saying, "If you listen, just Scarpa, do whatever you can. Let us have the gasoline, and we will spare your lives. And
give us the fuel.
Yes, give us the
fuel.
We
will let you live."
And it's obviously, he does almost come across a little bit compassionate towards his gang members. He's not like incredibly mean spirited or acts authoritatively against them. He never abuses authority around them, because once the feral kid kills Wes's boyfriend, surrogate son, whatever,
his boy wife.
Oh. And obviously these guys will warn them, no, don't give them anything. And I'll give them credit. They're willing to sacrifice their lives just to keep their loved ones safe. Yeah. And yeah, it's so good. It is fucking funny, this bit as well. He just throws the fucking boomerang as well.
Another one of those iconic scenes, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and he just takes the guy's fingers off.
What are you gonna, yeah. Smacks him in the head. It's got a splitting headache. Sorry about that. Here, have your boomerang back. And then what they call him, Mr. Smee tries to grab it out of the air.
Yeah, it just knocks his fingers off.
No dice. Everyone's pissing themselves laughing. It's a proper lad's joke, and your fingers.
Yeah, I know.
And even he's sort of in on the joke, having a bit of a giggle as well. They're just pissing themselves laughing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you gotta love the insanity of the costumes that they're wearing.
Mad.
It's
That's like a American football get up, isn't it? Like
I
armor,
know,
shoulder pads and stuff, and leathers and brilliant.
but it's good. It's like it's not just rags that they're wearing. It's like
Yeah, it's like
it
a
does give
uniform,
this
isn't it?
film an
Almost.
identity as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, when you think if you've ever seen an apocalyptic thriller where people are wearing leather gear, you're gonna think they're taking off Mad Max, aren't they?
right.
Very Mad Max like.
Everything else is a rip off after this. Like,
Yeah, I love this guy in the
definitely.
middle as well. He kind of looks like a little punk rocker, doesn't he? He's
Guy in
like,
the middle looks exactly like a guy I used to work with when I
mm,
worked at Nissan Motor Company, manufacturing car building factory. A guy called Glenn Dixon, and I can't help but think it's him every time I watch this movie. Takes me right out. Anyway,
yeah.
Glenn Dixon from Bishop Auckland. Where are you?
Yeah, once again, it's like I don't really know the names of most of these characters, even though I've seen this a good few times. But it's like you don't really need to know. You need mulleted engineer guy, don't you? And
Yeah.
you get World War II guy that
They
pops in.
all lean into it, though, don't they? He
Yeah,
leans right into his performance. See,
I
that
know.
mechanic guy, he's
Yeah,
as if
'cause he
he's
looks
been.
like a mechanic, like you said.
Yeah,
He does look the part. I mean, everyone
yeah,
looks like they've been
yeah,
working with engines for as long as they could remember.
yeah,
And once again, Humongous shows that he is kind of compassionate to his gang members. He actually does treat them well. You can sort of see why they have allowed him to lead them because, yeah, he treats them like his family in a way. It's like a little hint. It's not exactly spelled out, but you get a little hint that he probably does see his gang members as not just people following him, but people he does care about. He probably does want the best for them.
yeah.
But and he probably does want to see them survive as much as he is, but not just because he needs them. Because he does try to talk Wes out of his anger at the moment. He's like, listen,
Yeah.
we've all lost something, but have patience, please.
We need to be slightly diplomatic towards
Yeah,
them.
he's kind of almost a voice of reason, despite the fact
Yeah.
that he's a violent psychopath as well.
And I bet that mask smells like my grandma's slippers.
Probably will. He probably is. Yeah, because he's got some bad burns. He's definitely trying to hide some disfigurements. So yeah, you have like one day to decide, and the villagers are very divided as well because they've seen what happened to some of the people that their loved ones. So listen, let's just give them what they want. Just give them what they want. I mean, they won't. They'll probably won't give us any harm, but Michael Preston's saying, listen, if we do give them what they want, they will kill us anyway.
Hmm.
And while he's doing that, we get this very, very subtle, very emotional moment with Max and the feral kid. It's because he sees him as he almost sees him like the kid he failed to protect, and I love that.
Yeah.
And even the feral kid kind of sees this probably might be the first time he's had something very innocent affect him here as well because he hears the tune and he's just starts laughing. He takes delight in it. He gets excited about it. But then, of course, they can't really come to an agreement. But Max sees an opportunity as like yesterday. I saw if they would take that tanker. You need help, you come to me.
That was a good switch from American to Australian there, son.
Yeah, no,
Pretty good. You're getting better. You're getting better.
yeah, no. Once again, Max has kind of just landed himself in this situation now, but he's found a way to work his way out of it.
It's a bargaining chip.
Yeah, bargaining chip. All he needs is some diesel and some gasoline, and obviously he needs to. Yeah, obviously he needs to take some gasoline with him out straight away because he needs to fill up the truck as well.
Yeah.
And they are a little bit skeptical, saying, "Yeah, but what if you make off of it?" It's like, where's he going to go? We've got his car.
Exactly.
We'll think of it as a down payment. Once again, he's very smart. And he sees an opportunity in whenever he can. And yeah, now he's got to sneak past he's got to carry all this heavy stuff as well and sneak past these marauders whenever he can. and I think it's been a while, but I kind of missed it. I think the kid sort of helps him out as well. He creates a distraction.
Does, because he slips into a trench, and one of the guards or whatever he is him. But then the feral kid pretends he's some kind of coyote or dingo. I think it'll be a dingo on it.
And it is very believable because, I can sort of see him as this kid that started off living with these wild animals before these villagers took him in. I'm actually wondering who did take him in, unless he wandered in by the camp by mistake and decided, let's have him around. He don't pose a danger.
Yeah. He can be a little guard.
Better off us than out in the wild to die.
And he's got a metal boomerang.
Yeah.
Happy days.
And Gyro Captain's tried to escape.
Once
again, he runs, and I think wait, is that blood down the back of his shoe there?
Could be something like that, blood or shit.
Yeah,
or
he cut into his heel a little bit, and it started to run down the show. Yeah, but he does have some very strange get up. He's got these like pink and yellow leggings on, and these very bright trainers, and amongst this dusty trench coat.
Did you hear what he was saying to Max as he was dragging that thing behind him?
Yeah.
It's one of the most bizarre sort of monologues. I've got it written here. He says to Max tells him to shut up. He goes, "You know what I miss most of all? Clean women, nail polish, perfume, the smell of bicycle seats, cocktails, desserts, lingerie. Remember lingerie? Shut up."
Was the Marauder also in Weird Science? I think you've answered yes. Yeah.
Yes, I
think I might have seen him in some other stuff, but I can only remember him in this and Commando. And I think he did do another film with Mel Gibson as well some years later.
Yeah. He was in Inner Space and Weird Science.
Oh, damn. I need to watch Inner Space again. That's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously... I love this bit with the dog as well. Is the dog is like, "It's my snake. I found it. I trained it. I eat it." and the dog's trying to get at it as well. And apparently, the dog is actually playing with him. They actually did a little bit of editing and some dubbing as well to make it sound like the dog was being aggressive to him. But apparently, the dog took a real big liking to Bruce Spence. I mean, the dog just couldn't leave him alone. So.
Probably because he looked like a giant bone.
Yeah, he was a very skinny guy. So obviously he needs the Gyro Captain to take him down to the truck. And there's one hint, there's one few little tidbits as well that I did not get the slides on. But the buggy right next to the gyrocopter has a dead body next to it, and apparently Max takes out this jewelry, which I think is like some World War II memorabilia, and a dice as well, which is supposed to symbolize chance. And Max throws it away, like he's throwing away some kind of chance at maybe some humanity, something like that, or future.
Mm-hmm.
Little things that we'd never noticed before.
Yeah,
so he takes him down to the gyrocopter where he gets the truck.
And then he says his farewells.
Yep, says his farewells. He's got the shotgun that he took from the dead body, and obviously he attracts the attention of the Marauders as well, and it leads to a pretty cold chase. And he does try to shoot the humongous guy, but the shells are just really faulty, and they just like spark up in his gun.
A dud.
There's another tidbit as well where Humongous has like all this like Nazi sort of like memorabilia stuff where he takes this gun out. So I don't know if he stole it off someone, or maybe it was like reminiscent of his granddad or his dad.
It's like a 357, like a Magnum 357, that gun.
Yeah, it's a big fucking gun, man.
It is. I mean, it cracks the engine block of that truck, so...
Yeah, very powerful gun. I don't know if they're too practical in real life. Oh, yeah, he cock blocks some Marauders as well.
Hey! My favourite part of the film. Yeah. The sweaty tent sex. No better.
Yeah, Wells, he's just not willing to give up. I mean, he is fucking... Vernon Wells is just having a ball. He barely says a word, but...
He's fuming, isn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely fuming. You killed me husband, you bastard.
Yeah. Yeah, once again, Gyro Captain comes in and he decides to help Max, and he throws the snake on him too as well to put him off their stride. So the snake's sacrifices not been in vain, you know. And yet people are really crashing. I mean, it's vehicles are really getting fucked up, and it is beautiful to watch. I just love the carnage.
It's
I love seeing
mental,
vehicles get smashed up. It's brilliant.
It's all dangerous and sharp and pointy and very deathy. The whole place is just littered with accidents waiting to happen.
I know. And Wes sneaks in. He tries to take some of them on, but eventually they manage to hold them back with the flamethrowers. And Wells is like, "I'll be back. I'll be back to get you, you bastard."
I'm gonna kill you, John.
Yeah. Once again, it's a good little turning point for Gyro Captain as well, because he's just done something very unselfish and he's kind of helped these people, and even the people start to see that Max isn't all that bad. He stayed true to his word, and yeah, I love this a little bit as well. It's just so innocent as well. It's just so innocent. He just plays with his propeller. He's baffled by what this thing is, and he's like to grow up. Hey, don't mess with things you don't fucking understand. All right, you'll break it. And then he tries to play with it again. It's like, that's like a kid. That's like a real kid. And then you get World War II guy wondering, I think you could get two people up in this? And he's like, and he looks at this very stunning blonde. I think I've got a name up, because I don't think we found out her name properly. The captain's girl, that's it. So the guy here is called the captain. So it's his daughter, played by Aki Whiteley. Very, very good looking lass. And obviously, Gyro Captain's really taken with her, and he's hoping he can probably escape with her very soon. And she seems to be very taken with him as well, despite the fact he's not much to look at. But hey, he showed he has some balls. He showed a bit of an alpha mentality. So yeah, she's very attracted. Of course, she's going to be attracted to him. So yeah, I want to be on their team. Oh, me too. And with Warrior Woman as well. Warrior Woman rocks. And I do wish Virginia here good health. I really do. Obviously, Michael Preston's character has just been injured as well, and it kind of leads to where he probably is going to need Max to be the one to drive the tanker as well. Yeah, because I think his original plan, because now they've got a plan this time, and but the truck still needs fixing. I love this little interchange where he's just telling him what needs fixing, and the blonde guy's just shouting it back to him, and he's like, "What the hell does that mean?" It's like, "What the hell does that mean?" 24 hours. You got 12.
Yeah. I'll do it in 12. Yeah.
And look, even Warrior Woman is liking Max. And they do try to talk him into helping them out, but it's like, listen, I've just done what I've had to do. I'm out of here. And yeah, the disobedience and what Max has done today has just made things worse for the poor people captured. They are very badly tortured while Humongous recites this poetry, I think. So let's look at the trivia. It's never mentioned. You never hear it because it's very obscure. It's blocked out by all the carnage that's going on.
What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, well, Humongous recites a poem while he's torturing his prisoners. I'm just trying to look for it as well. There's a lot of trivia to scroll through, so yeah. See if we can find it. Where is it? I don't want to go on too long. If I can't find it in the next few seconds, I will move on. But
swiftly on.
I know, because there's so much to go through. Yes. Yeah, there's so much to look through, so I'll move on from that. Anyone who has it in the comments, please feel free to post it, and I will highlight it, and I will read it. Yeah, Max looks on as well, and let's move on. So yeah, obviously, the Gyro Captain is trying to get the captain's girl to come with him, but now she just won't leave. She doesn't want to desert them, and he kind of has a change of heart as well. He decides that, you know what? No, I'm not going to leave these people as well. I mean, I'm going to help them. I'm going to stay on and help them. And Michael Preston going to Max. He obviously wants Max to be the one to drive the tanker as well.
Yeah.
But he sees,
he has a bit of conflict with him here, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's right about Max, though. He is totally right. He is trying to, in a way, he probably is using Max to get to the tank as the decoy, and it is a very selfish reason, but he is trying to get Max to come up with them up north as well and maybe start a new life again and maybe talk him out of his trauma and try to get back with people and, become human again, become a man with purpose.
Yeah.
But of course, Max is just stubborn as fuck. He's what happened in the past is still stuck with him. He just cannot seem to get past it. It's so powerful to him, and I love it. It's like you're a maggot, Max. You're a scavenger. What happened? Did you kill too many people? Did you lose someone? You lost someone, didn't you? That's it. And it really pushes Max's buttons, and he punches him, and it's so brilliant. Yeah. It's so well done. He doesn't have to say a fucking word, but it's the way he reacts to when he said lost the family, and is like
touched a nerve. Yeah, it's still pretty raw, isn't it? It's a few years after the event, but it still gets to him.
Yeah,
and I think he's probably been so used to being on his own anyway, and he knows.
He has, because it's been a good few years. That's all he knows now.
Yeah, because that works for him. That's his survival method, and he doesn't want to change that because he knows that with change like that could bring his own demise or death.
I know. Plus, it goes back to the first movie as well, where he's talking to I forgot the bald character in the first Mad Max movie. He's like, if I'm out there any more longer, I become just like them. I become the very thing I'm trying to hunt. And he has kind of become that. He has become that, unfortunately. And this is his chance to sort of like come back from that, come back from the abyss.
Yeah.
And once again, it's a very powerful moment. And Michael Preston just tells him, "We've all lost something, but we still try to keep our dignity. But you're just out there with the garbage." And it really does get through to Max a little bit as well. You can really see that has got to him. That has really got to him. Yeah, and this bit does kind of break my heart a little bit as well because this kid is really taken to Max as well.
It's ruthless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bless him.
I know, and he's like, I don't think I'm going to get close to you because he's done that before. He's got close to people, he's lost them, and he's never gotten over it.
Yeah.
It's like a defense mechanism, isn't it? And it's so fucking right to his character. It really is.
He's he's defending both of them, isn't he? He's defending the kid and himself. He's defending the kid from what's out there, knowing that he probably can't sort of protect him.
Yeah, like he's scared in case he loses this kid as well, even though he probably does see his son in him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love this bit shit again. Yeah, and I love this bit as well. He's holding this hourglass as well, like he's on borrowed time. That is not in the trivia, and I really wish it was because that's what I'm thinking when I watch this. Is that hourglass is on borrowed time? Max is not going to be the decoy. He's going to have to do it, and he knows he knows it's suicide.
Take one for the team, lad.
Yeah. So I kind of do like this character. I really do. He is actually very altruistic in his own, despite everything that's going around. Papagallo. I keep fucking forgetting the name. Papagallo. Pellegrino. Call it sound like an Italian beer for some reason.
Pellegrino's a lemonade and fizzy orange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mazda.
Get mixed up with Peroni. Sorry.
Peroni. Yeah, we'll call him Peroni.
Yeah, for some reason I want a Scotch now.
I think I'm going to have to see if I can fix my computer, mate. I might have to drop off for 5 minutes or so. It's not charging up now. It's gone down to 4%.
Yeah, I'll run a bit of trivia then, just while you're trying to...
Try and hold the fort for 5 minutes and I'll do my best to get back. Okay, mate. I'll see.
Yeah, so hope he gets his computer fixed. Fucking hell, no, it's aged in advanced technology. You think shit would work more these days. I think stream StreamYard is definitely one I'm going to try and avoid later on in the year. I'm going to try and see if I can do Streamlabs, but I've hearing a few things like there's still limitations, but Enzo's saying, no, you can still get some guests on. There's still some stuff on there that you can do on there like you can do on StreamYard. So I'm going to have to try and do a test stream on that one day. So just to see how the mechanics work, and hopefully I can probably save money because it costs like fucking $39.99 just to get all the things you need for StreamYard, for the banners, like the Road Warrior background, the fucking putting intro videos on, all that bullshit, which is very, very annoying. So, and plus we need to save money as well these days, especially with this fucking inflation going on. Thanks, Starmer, you bastard. Since there's no comments coming up, let's have a look. One of the spectacular stunts in the film, in which one of the motorcycle riding raiders hits a car, flies off the bike, smashes his legs against the car, and cartwheels through the air towards the camera, was actually a genuine and nearly fatal accident. The stuntman was supposed to just fly over the car without hitting it. He survived, but his leg was broken badly. The moment looked so dramatic, it was kept in the film, and yeah, I think we will get to that very soon. And it's a good example of what happens when people actually risk their safety for a film. I mean, yeah, I don't want people getting injured or getting killed on set, but it does lead to something very real in on screen. The danger feels very real. These people have gone through a lot, so I think Fandad is back, so let's try and get him back on. Okay. Anywhere?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Right.
Okay.
We'll go with that then. Yeah, I think I'm just having to use the speakers on my MacBook. One of my ports isn't working on the power port, so niggas. We're back anyway.
I think Nick seems to know this stuff, so yeah, I keep forgetting to ask you for technical advice. Yeah, we should allow terminally ill people to do dangerous stunts. I kind of agree a little bit because, hey, fuck it, at least you get a good rush before you die. So I don't know. It's like it's like that Bill Bear story where the guy had a very bad terminal illness, so he decided, fuck it, I'm gonna take my fate in my own hands.
Is that the helicopter story?
Yeah, the one where the terminal guy takes a fucking helicopter top and he just casts right out. Fucking hell.
The guy's trying to give him a tour and he's like, no, what you doing?
Apparently it was the guy's first time giving tours as well. It was like his first day on the fucking shop. And it's like, what?
He inherited the business from his father.
He did.
In Orange County or whatever it was. And this guy, But yeah.
I know, and unfortunately the guy survived, which must have been a big fuck you from God, because it's like,
he was only 500 feet up or something, wasn't he? And he went into the sea. My God, can you imagine the belly flapper that he pulled off?
I know, Christ.
How much pain do you want to be in?
I know, it's like he just hit the water and he survived, and he was even worse. And thankfully he died in the hospital, poor bastard. But
poor lad.
Jesus Christ, when you're trying to end your life in such a spectacular way and it just ends up in more pain, that's like,
you couldn't write that shit.
I know. You don't need the latest gen in computer hardware for what you do right now. So yeah, because I mean, this is a newer model, but it seems to have more limitations than the shitty laptop I use for editing. Because for some reason I can't seem to get my video editing suite, the license transferred to this one. I don't know why. I've been in a helo crash. It's so fucking hell, man. Sorry to hear that, but glad to know you're all right now, though.
Yeah.
You know, that must have been fucking hairy.
Must have been spinny as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of these guys, I think the turban guy was actually going to say, why don't we just keep his car? I mean, and he's like, listen, he agreed to the contract. He's an honourable man. Yeah, he's a scavenger, but at least he keeps to his word, which is saying a lot, especially in this hostile environment that they're having to survive in every day.
Well, that's like the stark contrast between the compound dwellers and the marauders, if you want to call them that, they'll do anything and everything in their power, like even giving their own lives and taking lives and whatnot to get what they want. But these guys that live in the compound are still clinging on to that sort of era of civilization and morals and ethics and dignity, if you like, which is good.
Yeah, I passed out from the spinning. I'm not a medical expert, but I have a feeling, I don't know if that might have helped help you survive, like make your muscles more relaxed to the point where it's kind of like a cushion. Because I've heard that where people are really, really fucking drunk, yet they get hit by a speeding car and survive because the muscles are just so relaxed, they are tense or something. It's crazy to think about what people survive these days. Yeah, licenses are tied to email, hardware, ID if you switch device, or enough hardware on a computer, you avoid your license. Yes.
Oh, jeez. You've lost your license, Luke.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not on the old laptop. Not on the old laptop. I still use that for editing. So I use this for streaming because it seems to do it better than the last one did. Because when I was first doing these streams a year ago, I was still using the old laptop, and it was just really crap for it. It really was.
Potato laptop.
Oh, enough hardware change, as in add more RAM, change CPU, or even GPU. Okay. Yeah, I walked without a scratch. Members of my platoon started calling me Wyatt Earp. So yeah, yes, I think passing out might have helped a little bit. Passing out might have saved your life there.
Passing out's for pussies, though, isn't
it? Well, it saved his life. Fucking hell. Saved his life. That's what I'm guessing anyway. That's what I'm guessing, but you can establish on that later if you want. And I love how Jara Captain is really keen on Max as well, because he's kind of going through that character journey as well. He's finding his humanity amongst these people too. But Max is a little bit more stubborn here. He's a little bit more... His trauma seems to caused him greater pain than Jara Captain's has. We don't really know much about Jara Captain. All we know is that he's just out surviving as much as he can as well. He's not the toughest, but he's definitely got his wits about him. So yeah, and Max just says good luck. He just interrupts him and says good luck. It's like, damn, man. But once again, he can't escape the marauders as they go to chase him, and they get the drop on him and they run him off the road. And yeah, now he's at his lowest point as well. His interceptor is just trashed. All these guys are out to kill him. They kill his fucking dog as well. The bastards. They kill his fucking...
It's bad enough, like, having the last of the V8 interceptor smashed to fucking pieces, which is a travesty in itself, but then shooting the doggo as well. What a set of bastards.
I know, and that was like his sort of like last bit of his humanity as well. That was the only thing that was giving him some kind of something to care about, something to love and protect, and he failed to do that as well. But of course, Max has rigged the car; it blows up, and so they think he's dead already. But then Jara Captain sees what's happening and is like, "Oh shit! I better go rescue him. He's in trouble. He's got to be in trouble." Yeah, it's looking like he's nearly dying as well. He's crawling on the ground like he was in the first movie. And it's I like how the picture goes a little bit blurry as well. Like you see little blurs when he moves. It's like it's added some disorientation as well to his injuries. Yeah. He's not well. He needs serious fucking help.
He's just driven off a cliff, so
he's all messed up as well. He's really messed up. But Jara Captain rescues him and he's like, "Relax, partner. I got ya." Of course, he wakes up. He's still very badly injured. He's still in a bad way though. But he's like, "Fuck it, I got no choice now. I'm gonna take the tanker. I'm gonna do it because these guys are gonna leave, and what's gonna happen? The marauders are gonna come in. They're probably gonna cut him up to little pieces. Who knows? So yeah, I'm probably gonna die driving this tanker anyway. So what the hell? If I'd rather die trying to escape for my life than let these savages destroy me, kill me."
Take one for the team.
Yeah. I mean, I love how he sort of plays him a little bit as well. Papagallo just plays him a little bit, saying, "Hey, what makes you think you're well enough to do that? You can't even, you can't even drive a wheelchair." Something like that.
He does. He says you couldn't even drive a wheelchair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. Max calls him out on it as well. He knows he's like, listen, cut the crap. You know I'm the only one who can do this.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, well, yes. So why did you change your mind? It's like, believe me, I have no choice. I mean, yeah, but at least he's given the choice to do some good this time. So yeah, they all get set up, get fucking going, and the Marauders come in. Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah, they try to get the feral kid as well, but he escapes and hops onto the tanker with Max, and it leads to one of the most awesome fucking chases ever. It is so fucking good, and once again, we've got a good little moment where Max has the opportunity to be a protective father again. This time he can succeed where he failed last time. And I love how it's all shot as well. Yeah, some of the Marauders go into the tank. They think it's Christmas, but then it all blows up.
Do you know they brought the army in to do those explosions? And
I would not be surprised. I would trust the army with that stuff because there's a lot of explosions as well, and it's really blowing up.
Special effects team apparently kicked off because they said, well, we doing the explosions, and George Miller said, nah, not like the ones that we want for this particular scene. So they actually called the army expert. I mean, look at the violence in that. You can see some of the 50-gallon drums going about 200 feet into the air if you actually watch the footage itself. It's just incredible.
Yeah, very much a pussy. You are what you eat. Nice one, man. That's a nice one. Talk about kicking a man when he's down. No, not the last of the V8 interceptors. No, beauty that.
Last of the V8 interceptors. It would have been a pity to blow it up.
Yeah.
And they did. Bastards.
Look at that. Like, oh, fucking. It's
unreal,
like
isn't it? Look at the state of it. Aye, mushroom cloud.
That is great as well. Now we get some very good aerial shots as well from the tanker, and apparently this is why the Gyro Captain was kind of in as well, because apparently the studio was against aerial shots whatsoever. So they thought, okay, if we get a character as a pilot, it will give us an excuse to have aerial shots in. So yeah,
good call. It's a good call.
I love this as well. I mean, look at these designs as well. These are insane designs. They're like, it's like they got these off some old race cars as well and just upgraded them.
It's just like a rocket machine.
I love it.
Crazy. I didn't realise that particular vehicle there. I only realised when I watched the movie today that vehicle was one of the Marauders' vehicles that managed to get into the compound when Max turned up with the big rig. Before they could close the door. That's one of so he's nicked their car basically.
Yeah, because and I do give credit to Papagallo. Because he even though he was going to be the decoy and Max is in his place, he's still willing to try and stick by him, and I love that.
Yeah, just like a bit of a bodyguard.
Yeah, obviously, we've got to love Vernon Wells as well. And look at these designs as well; these are crazy. Just get every sharp thing they could get and just stick it on there. And I love the engineer guy as well. He's not just an engineer; he's like the flamethrower guy. You got Warrior Girl with
petrol bombs.
Yeah, and Turban guy as well. And he gets a pretty fucking brutal death, though. It's like,
the guy that gets pulled off the back. He gets a hook in his leg, doesn't he?
He does, man. And he gets
manky,
and he gets pulled off the back as well. And he just gets crushed underneath under the scaffolding that he was on, anyway. But yet, these cars are really getting lit on fire, and I don't know if they had some maybe device as well to remote control it while it was on fire. But I wouldn't want a fucking stuntman in those cars when that shit is happening.
I mean, some of them are actually crashing into the back of that wagon. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You bunch of lunatics.
Yeah, I just love the whip pound as well. I love the music that plays. That
everything about the movie is like it just gives us lightning in a bottle, doesn't it?
I know, and it does feel very dangerous as well. I just love how you're just constantly worried for the safety of these people. They're just constantly surrounded by these killers, and there's only really a few of them to defend, and they're all getting picked off pretty easily. So, right, you all mentioned it earlier. Sorry. Yeah. Let's get back to screenshots. Yeah, once again, they do the whip pans as well. You know, they speed up the shots because of the terrain, and you just can't help but marvel just at the pure chaos. And yeah, Turban guy gets the hook into his leg, and
that's just horrendous. Yeah, he gets pulled off the back of the wagon.
Which of course is dangerous for the guy who's done it as well, because it topples his car over and smashes up.
I mean, if you're dragging a car behind you just by using your leg, that's gonna hurt in the morning, isn't it?
I know.
just walk it off, son. You'll be all right.
God, I love this movie. I love these old movies. I've said this thousands of times. I love it when you see people doing real stuff, real danger. It's
yeah.
Because that's the whole point. You're supposed to feel the danger that these characters are going through, and it's just yeah,
chaos, isn't it? It's just, I think up until the point of seeing this actual movie, my opinion is that I don't think we'd ever seen anything on this scale as far as sort of violence and chaos and just maniacal goings on. I know we've had violent movies in the past, like Death Wish and other things like that, but just the whole feeling that this movie gives you from start to finish, that you're in this totally violent, unpredictable and chaotic world. I don't think we've seen anything like it, which is, I think, is one of the reasons why it's become so popular. It was just out of left field. Nobody expected it to be like this.
I know, and yeah, because it does really turn up the pressure as well. I mean, they're in a very high pressure situation, and
yeah,
they've got to think on their feet as well. And they're outnumbered. There's only a few of them. And they have to fend off as much as they can, and they know it's suicide. They know what they're doing is suicide. They're gonna get. Yeah. They're probably going to get killed, but the best they can do is just keep them going, because it's all about keeping the other people safe. But of course, we don't know that's a decoy yet. We still think the gasoline is in that tanker.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously he gets hit, and he causes him to drop his cocktail, and he's on fire, and Boy Woman gets shot as well, and he's like, I'm all right. He's just trying to get out the flames as much as he can.
Yeah, it's just a bit of fire.
Yeah, I was real sad when she died as well. She was cool. She was a cool character, and the way they play the music when it happens, it is a very sad moment. It's like, damn, she was cool.
I'm just going to answer Mr. E there. He's just made a point saying they're walking on a high wire without a net on a windy day.
Yeah.
A lot of the time,
that is brilliant.
This sequence was shot. That tanker was actually stationary, and they shot upwards towards the sky, and they used a big fan to give it the illusion of them actually moving. But for a lot of the time, it wasn't actually moving for certain scenes like that one. So
yeah, that's actually good. That's very good trickery as well, because if it's all blue sky, you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, you can't really get a handle on how fast the thing's moving, but they just got a big fan to blow their hair to give it the illusion of movement, and shot from the ground up over.
Yeah, Clever. It's kind of like that Simpsons episode where he's taking the pledges for Stonecutters, and he has to survive a drop. All he is on a little stage that's not high, and they've got this big fan blowing to make him think that he's up high.
It's pretty much what they did here. I mean, they did some crazy stuff as well, like just crashing cars into the back of a moving vehicle.
Some people did get fucking injured. I mean, there's I mentioned in the trivia earlier, there was a stuntman who, there's a part where he crashes and he flies in the air. He actually flips through the air as well, and his leg hit the car and it broke his leg.
Yeah, there's a beauty of a shot where he's doing like a forward sort of spin. That might be the same one. That was a beauty of a stunt, that.
I know. I mean, top marks to the guy because he nearly fucking died doing it, but thankfully he was all right. But Jesus Christ, it just makes these moments in movies even better. You know that these people were really putting their bodies on the line just to keep us entertained, just to keep us immersed in the danger of what we're seeing.
Yeah. They did a similar thing with the gyrocopter as well. When Bruce Spence was at the wheel, they built a sort of rig to pan left and right and up and down to shoot up over to make it look like he was driving the gyrocopter. But they got a proper little guy in to dress up as Bruce Spence and
do the stunt because
fly the actual machine.
Yeah, it's clever editing, isn't it? When you get the actual wide shots of him flying, it's a stuntman, but when it's like a close up of him, it's just them probably just shooting up, keeping it stationary, and blowing the fan in his face, and that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah. And I do love how the engineer tries to get her as well, but he ends up getting dragged onto the road. So now Max is probably doing something dangerous here. He's getting the shotgun out and they're blowing some guys apart. He's like, dude, get behind the wheel, get on the fucking clutch and the brakes and everything.
Exactly.
Keep the car going. Actually, yeah, he could probably keep his foot off the accelerator anyway for a while and shoot them, but you still got to keep control of the wheel, though, don't you?
Yeah. Something that big and heavy.
I know. Yeah,
that's the stunt there.
Yeah.
Bosh.
There
he goes.
Like forward flip.
Jesus. I wonder if that was wire work or whether he actually... Because it looks like it's in slow motion when you actually see the movie, but I don't know whether it was like a wire work thing or what.
I think it was just a real flip. I don't know if he did it by himself or he needed some kind of projectile to launch him like that. But I've flown ultra flight fixed wing. I'd never fly that gyrocopter. Mad Max is still a little bit exaggerated, so you do have to sort of like suspend your belief a little bit because you got some people desperately trying to kill people for gasoline, yet they still have enough to keep riding around the road for good long periods of time. So it's one of those things you kind of let go a little bit because of how good the film is. It's funny how some films you can let go. It's funny how some films have a lapse of logic, yet you let them go depending on the quality of the movie.
That's, very well put.
Yeah, and obviously guys try to... now most of his defense are all gone now, and everyone's just climbing in. It's just Max and him on his own with the kid. And now we've got Gyrocopter. He's helping out. He's throwing cocktails on them, and Papagallo is there as well.
There's the very shot.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's very good as well, and it's really done. I love it. I know I'm saying this a lot. I know I'm saying this loads of times, but it's so fucking good. I cannot say how much I enjoy seeing real stuff like this. Yeah, now Wes is on there, and shit's fucking, the heat is tearing up here. Yeah, now they're obviously getting at Max now. They're very close to getting to him, and obviously he hits the brakes, and Wes just falls right in front of the fucking truck. It's like bang.
Wee.
Yeah, and the two guys that were tortured, they're smashed right into the back.
They're not having a good day at all, are they? Really?
No. One of the guys is always trying to get at Max, but then the feral kid tries attacking him as well. And this little bastard's cool. He is. Sadly, Papagallo gets a big aim. I think he gets some weapon.
He gets Aquaman.
Yeah,
it's like a good trident in his back. Ouch! That must have fucking wrecked. Look at that. Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, and he gets shot down. I know, and one of the guys shoots the bolts, hits the gyro captain. Now he's out of commission as well, and it's looking like he's not survived the crash. But we are coming up to the end of the chase very soon now. And I think we need to get up to the bit where he's asking the kid to get the shells.
He climb out onto the bonnet.
Yeah, and I love how the kid's very hesitant as well. I mean, he's like, yeah, he's a tough kid. He's very ferocious, but at the same time, he's still a kid. He's still kind of got his hesitations, you know.
It's like, yeah, mate.
Yeah, and Humongous has survived one of Gyro Captain's attacks as well with the Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
And Wes just pops out. It's like a great jump scare. He's like, okay, he's probably got some bad injuries, but he is not going to give up. He's got this adrenaline rush. He's still going to keep going after him.
That bloodied look on his face, like that.
I know.
Frightened the shit out of me.
I know, it's fucking brilliant.
First time I saw it, I was like, Jesus Christ, it never ends.
I know, and I just love this as well. This is the perfect death for both Humongous and collides with Wes.
Just absolutely wrecks, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I love the whip pans, the way it just zooms right in right before the collision. Boom!
Smash! Have some of
beautiful,
that.
Beautiful, beautifully destructive. I love it.
Have a truck in the face. Jesus Christ! And then he loses control and flips it.
Yeah. And it's looking like they've seen that it was a decoy and that they've been duped, because now all we got is like muck and sand and dust coming out of it.
Just red sand, yeah. And they're thinking,
so they're thinking, yeah. Plus, they've lost their leader as well. So what the fuck are they going to do? They're like, their leader was like the guy that kept them all together. So they're obviously going to be running a bit more loose now. They're lost and confused now because they have no one to lead them.
That's it.
And thankfully, Max has survived the crash. He's still a bit fucked up, but hey, he was fucked up earlier. And thankfully, the kid has as well. And it's like, did Max know about the plan? I don't think he did.
No, because he gives a little wry smile at the end, I remember, as if to say, you sneaky bastard.
I know. Even the Gyro Captain kind of laughed it off as well. Yeah.
If you go back one slide, you'll see that little smirk he has on his face.
Yeah,
like, you stitched me good and proper.
I know, but it's like he doesn't care now. He's done something very unselfish, and he kind of might feel good about it.
Saved a lot of people, hasn't he? So it's kind of that redemption arc, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like he got to be a police officer again, protecting the innocent people.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, something because he was a police officer. He wanted to be a police officer and help people, and he's helped people. He gets to be that guy again.
He was in the, what was it? Was it the MRP? Real know what that stood for. Was it the something police force or something, or was it the MRF or something?
Yeah, not Melbourne Police. No, not that. But...
Melbourne Police Force. Somebody in the chat will know. Right, look it up.
And I love it. It's like, okay, you joke me, but fuck, I helped someone. I did the least. I didn't do something that was just out for me. I helped someone, and I kind of feel good about it. It kind of gives this character a little bit of hope, and and to give credit to the people, they don't desert him. They do come back from him and get the kid back, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, because they would have been miles away. How did they get him up to join that lot? I wonder if the Gyro Captain took him. Because he ended up driving the bus, didn't he? Bruce Spence.
Yeah, and I always wondered, did Bruce Spence know about the decoy as well and didn't tell Max? I think, but either way, because he probably did fix his gyrocopter, his copter, then try and find the people on the bus and maybe let them know where the truck was, the tanker was. So who knows? That's what I'm guessing happened.
Yeah.
But just like Max, he regains his humanity. He finds a sense of belonging. He has a community with people he can connect with, and it reveals that the narrator was the feral kid. He somehow learned to be very civilized. He could talk, and he becomes a leader himself.
He does,
and there is a very, very loose theory that the kid could be Max in the third one, because he has very similar hair, doesn't he? But he does become a leader to his kids, but it's just too kind of There's a hole in it as well. Like Max reveals in Beyond Thunderdome that he used to be a police officer. So no, this is the same Max. It's not the feral kid. Though I did hear some say that the feral kid is the Max in the.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got that little silver streak in his hair, the same as what Max has in this one.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a weird one. The Fury Road's a bit weird because he's got his V8 Interceptor. I'm sure at the beginning of that movie, where he obviously destroyed it in this one. So is it a reimagining or a reboot or a soft reboot? I don't know.
Yeah,
never understood or really liked the concept, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I like the car chases, but I
don't
think Tom Hardy was a great Max.
He never said anything, did
he? That same trauma and pain there Mel Gibson did. He was okay in it, but Mel Gibson just did it better.
Yeah. He only said about 7 words, and it was all. Well, I mean, it was a Furiosa movie, wasn't it? And then we got another Furiosa movie. So we've had 2 Furiosa movies essentially. What they really need to do is get Mel Gibson involved and do a Mad Max 4, a proper one.
Yeah, an old Mad Max. I was like one last hurrah, a bit like Logan, for example. I would love to have seen that, just to see a very old grizzled Max and do one last act of redemption before he dies.
Yeah, exactly. Then kill him off.
Yeah, give him a very dignified death as well. Don't fucking Joel from The Last of Us Part 2 him.
Yeah, don't beat his head in with a bolt cutter.
God, I just love this fucking movie. I watched it again this morning. The car chase, it still amazes me. It still fucking amazes me how good this movie is.
Amazes me how anybody survived, like the whole process.
But you just appreciate it because it wasn't done on a green screen.
Yeah, exactly. It's all practical, including all the explosions are actual explosions. There's no CGI or anything like that. And I know, like I said before, a lot of this stuff was done on stationary vehicles and the shot to their advantage. But a lot of it, you could tell, was a lot of practical work as well, and just people jumping onto the back of moving wagons. There must have obviously been stuntmen, but I think there would have been a lot of extras of just local lads from the area. Bring your motorbike along and put these leathers on and just film that. But just absolute lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. Motor Brigade Police Force, Mr. E. I think he's just answered your question then.
What's that?
Yes, what you mentioned before about the MPF, Motor Brigade.
It was the MFP that he was a part
MFP.
of. Main Force Patrol. That was
that's it. Yeah,
that was him and his band of policemen in the first one. Yeah.
To me, there are only 2 Mad Max movies like Star Wars. Yeah, I agree. I don't mind Mad Max Fury Road, but I don't count it in the same continuity. I see it kind of as a bit of a loose reboot. Yeah, it's directed by George Miller and it has a couple of the same actors from the old ones, but
just does the same thing though, doesn't it? A chase through the desert. Same as Mad Max 3 was just a chase through the desert with Tina Turner.
Tina Turner was the only good thing in that third one, in my opinion. As soon as he leaves Bartertown and starts hanging around with the kids, that's when the movie started to go down. I mean, an hour and a half of Mad Max in Bartertown or doing some shit in Bartertown, which would lead to a real cool chase. Yes, I'd be all for that. Yeah. More Tina Turner as well. Tina Turner was fucking great in that film.
Yeah, she's pretty rad.
Yeah, she looked good in that fucking blonde mohawk. She did. But I think she was only in her 50s when she did that, and but she killed it, man. She fucking killed it. And it did have some very memorable characters. Master Blaster, God, you can't Master Blaster, and it does have some good quotes. Who runs Bartown? Master Blaster, and damn, why is the rest of the film not that good? Please, it's got some good characters, some good quotes. Why can't the rest of the film be fucking awesome? And
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah, that is so good. I mean, even the fight's kind of goofy, but it's still kind of cool. I mean, it's goofy because it's a George Miller film still.
Is Nick's being sarcastic there, saying
Oh,
too
he's
bad?
yeah.
Doesn't
He's
make a third one.
master of sarcastic him. Master blaster of
Yeah.
sarcasm on here. Too bad they didn't make a third one. You'd think with all the remakes and reimagining and sequels, we'd get more. Sadly, just the two for now.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
Credit.
I'm glad they kept it two. I am. Okay, so yeah. A decent ending, he'd be screwed over with a screwdriver. With all the glory holes of modern writing. Yeah, just searched the local port of them high seas for Mad Max trilogy, and first result is duology. Yeah, there's only two Mad Max films, the first and the second. I mean, I could still probably pop in Fury Road, but I couldn't really get into Furiosa. I did like Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth in it, but I was bored by Furiosa.
I never even bothered watching it. I just thought the concept sounded awful. We didn't need it. It's not a Mad Max movie. It's just a whatever movie.
Yeah, I mean,
and then doesn't it spend like 45 minutes on a 10-year-old Furiosa anywhere?
Yeah, to be honest, I think Furiosa was a cool character, but she worked well when she was just supporting Mad Max.
Yeah.
I didn't really need to see a prequel about her. I mean, I got everything
really.
about her in that first movie anyway.
Exactly. But then Max was relegated to a supporting character in my eyes in that film.
Exactly. I mean, he always kind of has been like the observer, who gets mixed in with some other people's shit. But
yeah, I guess
still felt very pivotal to the first two movies. Even in the third one, he still felt a bit pivotal. Yeah, Fury Road. Fury Road is not a Mad Max movie. It got the name with same effort. It could be called NEB Fury Road just because NEB watched it. Fair point, man. Ironically, the wardrobe wouldn't have changed much had it been made today. Just the meaning behind it. Yeah, because the world's ended. No one cares about the latest fashions now. People are just trying to survive. Yeah, so if apparently George Miller has said that this film is set round about the mid to late 90s and everything still looks 80s because it makes sense. The world was on the brink of disaster in the late 70s when the film was made. It makes total sense.
Well, I think there was wasn't there a what was it? There was like an oil embargo in place that affected Australia.
I think I heard about that one as well.
Something to do with the concept, but what was he called? It wasn't. It was one. I think it was it was Terry Hayes, the guy that did the screenplay. He used to work in radio, and I think he was a producer on this radio show, right? And he said, "Why don't we do this?" You know, can you remember the War of the Worlds when the audience thought it was real, and they were saying that there's an alien invasion on Earth, and everybody went absolutely mad. They did the same thing here, where they said that there's an oil crisis and there's going to be like World War III, but they told the audience that it was just a kind of hypothetical sort of stage play kind of thing. And everyone believed that as well. So they were all like emptying the fuel stations and stuff and stocking up on toilet paper and stuff like that. The world went mad. And the guy was saying it only took, I think it was 10 days or something for that might have been during the embargo. It was 10 days before somebody fired the first shot. I think that was during the embargo when people were desperate for fuel. So they were saying, what would it be like if in 10 years, if there was no fuel, how would people act? So they took all that and decided to put that into the movie, that kind of story, where the world's worse than what it was in the first one. Apocalyptic, if you like.
Oh, definitely effective. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's been 44 years since this came out as well, this movie, and I don't think it's dated one bit. I mean, we got the 80s haircuts a little bit, but that just adds more to the aesthetic. And plus, I'm seeing a few people with the mullets at the moment. They've kind of got these little crew cuts with the little mullet hanging out the back of these days. It looks very road warrior-ish. But yeah, but I don't think there's much we can add more to it. I think we've already said the trivia as well, but it's got a very good fun it's got a lot of character as well. It's got a lot of personality, from the look, the way it's directed, the way it's shot, and the way it's written, and
yeah, I think that it just everything came together. And
yeah. Nick's just said, "Isn't there a 2024 Mad Max movie, or is it a documentary? It's like they filmed LA streets." It's like, fucking hell, man. Yeah, that was a total disaster. What happened to that? I mean, hiring fucking fat lesbian tranny firefighters who couldn't lift anyone, or wanted to lift anyone because, they made their choice. Wrong place at the wrong time. God.
Yeah, that was a fucking disgrace. That what she
was.
Said. Was it she or he or whatever it was?
Yeah, I know. Because I think some of them couldn't even lift some people out of the burning buildings because, they just didn't have the wet men who could lift up other men.
But her excuse was, why should I lift your husband out of a fire? If your husband's in a fire, then he got himself into the wrong place. What kind of fucking crack is that from a firefighter?
That is what happens when you hire fucking psychopaths.
Idiots, yeah.
Who only care about, who revolve their personality around what they identify with instead of what they do.
Yeah.
Making fun of Holly Lackwood the same way they make fun of our wallets with all the trash they release. Yeah.
Yeah. Last year it was diabolical, I think, as far as movies are concerned. Makes me just want to give up on the whole thing and just, I don't know, take up table tennis or I don't know, just like origami or something interesting. But my God, last year was fucking just, I don't know about you, like Northern, but I could not find anything of interest last year that I can remember. I think that The Substance was the last great movie I watched.
That was definitely, I don't think you'll ever remember fucking The Substance with all the shit that was happening with Demi Moore, the way she just mutated like that. I mean, get a good bit of body horror and that'll definitely be memorable.
It was nuts, but just so well done.
Business on top, party in the back, mullet. Yeah, I'm too bald to have the mullet now. It's not really my thing. If I did have hair, I'd just have the crew cut. I respect NEB more than modern reviewers, media, and this idiot recommended boobs and film with James Corden. And I'm bad. Yes, you are. Fuck off now. It's always good to have you back on, Nick. It always is, man. I need to get back into doing this regularly if I can. And I don't know what I'm going to do next week, though, but I'll try and have a look. I mean,
we'll think of something. I'll come up with something if you like.
Yeah, it'd be good to do like an anniversary video of some film that came out maybe 20, 30 or 40 years ago, or something like that. I can have a little look, see what's going on, and try and organise a film and see who's available, if you're available, if Al or Toxic or Blue Collar is available. And
if my computer works.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like Nick was saying earlier, like, avoid new models, they're fucking scammers. So yeah, that might be a good idea now to just hit the bloody cash converters, the pawnbrokers for some laptop that came out maybe 5 years ago, maybe. He's like, do Snatch. Yeah, you know what? I'll do Snatch. Fucking hell.
Snatch is beautiful.
So yeah, what? 25 years ago then? 25 years ago. I think I could do that. So it's not as... Because it was kind of like the follow-up to Lock, Stock, which was Guy Ritchie's big hit, and this is kind of like the one that was lesser, but people, including me, still love the movie. So yeah, I might do that next week then.
I think people talk more about Snatch than they do Lock, Stock for some reason.
I think Lock, Stock is better, but Snatch seems to be funnier.
It's more sort of mainstream, isn't it? I think people...
Yeah, Lock, Stock does seem a little bit more subtle, despite the fact it's got some very hyper-realistic moments. Yeah, before the Germans get here.
What?
Yeah, what's that? What's that Nick saying? Let's get this off. I'll try to be more on. This year started bad for me. Sick as a dog, high fevers, just to mention a few. Yeah, people really do seem to be getting sick this year. I've been fine, though. Maybe a little sneeze, but I think that might be more down to the heaters in the house, because when I'm outside, I'm fine. I'm completely fine. When I'm in the cold, I'm fine, but I go in, turn the heater on, I start sneezing like fuck. It's annoying, but it happens.
Yeah, I've been ill, but I'm just not a pussy, so I just ignored it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I've been drinking the odd bit of scotch occasionally, and not just on weekend, just like a nice little glass after a meal. So maybe that might be helping. Whiskey can help out a little bit, as long as you take it in moderation.
And what's your preferred scotch?
Definitely the Glenfiddich.
Oh, awful.
Ooh. Oh, I get the age. Yeah, the age stuff is brilliant. The 15-year-old ones. I've really only had the 18-year-old ones from the testers, but it's not bad as well. But
Johnny
I think,
Walker Black Label for me.
yeah, the stuff from Aldi is actually pretty good. The single malt stuff, Glen
Uh,
Monarch. It's
oh, yeah.
only, I mean, it's only like aged 3 years, but at 70, but it's a big bottle, and
Aye.
it's cost like $17.99. So it's
Yeah.
cheaper than a small bottle of Glenfiddich.
Mm.
Mm.
Just as good.
Yeah, but Tooth Tony, he'll find you Moses, and the Ben is burning bush if you pay him enough. Yeah, it is a very quotable film, and it is very funny. I love the cast in that movie. I love Dennis Farina as well. I love Mike Reed in it. Benicio del Toro. Yeah, got some really good actors on that one.
Vinnie Jones is in it as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm alcohol drive for more than 10 years, NAB, so that ain't helping. Yeah, if you've had a drinking problem, then okay, all right, that's totally understandable. I mean, because I can get drunk and still be okay, not to have alcohol for a good long time. I probably will be calming it down a little bit during the next couple of months just to try and lose some weight again, because I'm still suffering a bit from Christmas, all that fucking sugar, and I'm definitely going to try and ease back on the sugar and bread again, because that is the stuff that gets you fucking. Yeah.
I can't see you at the minute, but you sound really fat. So
I'm lying down a little bit on the bed, so yeah.
Get on that treadmill, son.
I know. You're thin fucking ice, my pedigree champ. Sorry about that. You're on thin fucking ice, my pedigree chams, and I shall be under it when it breaks. Gotta love Alan Ford, we know.
Brilliant, that. Was that
Yeah,
Australian?
I think Alan Ford was a real gangster in real life, or he was in that life before he became an actor. A lot of these actors did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get onto that another time. So I don't think we've got anything more to add to Mad Max. We already mostly discussed all the nice little hints that was shown visually but not spelt out. All the nice little Easter eggs, little tidbits, the trivia. So, yeah, final thoughts from Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, Fandad.
Just go and watch it if you haven't seen it. It's an absolutely brilliant film.
Yeah.
It's just an exercise in ultra violence. What's not to like?
Yeah. Well, final thoughts is it's intense, it's adrenaline pumping, it's got a real sense of isolation and this sort of like bleak but hopeful outlook, and I just enjoy it. It's also very surreal. It's very sort of cartoonish but gritty at the same time, and it's a great example of how to really expand on a sequel to just some low budget movie that you had a lot of trouble with making but still managed to get done. And I will still love this movie. I will still love this chase. I will still love Mel Gibson's very subtle performance that requires no dialogue, virtually little dialogue, just to get across what this guy is going through. And I love it. It's awesome. So yeah, one more. We've lost gorgeous George. In the quiet words of the Virgin Mary, come again. So yeah, that's the last. So that's the end of the stream, and thank you for joining me, Fandad, Menace, and Sabman. If you watch this later, thanks for joining me in the short time that you could make it. And everybody else, Artie, Mr. E, Nix, David Wilson, Ray Terry. Let's see if there's anyone else who I may have missed. I hope I haven't. Let's have a look.
I think you've covered all the bases.
So no, looks like I've gone through everyone. Thanks for joining us, and whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching, and do remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell in order to be notified. And if you wish to further support this channel, links will be in the description below. But right now, that's me done. And we're off to the pub. Enjoy your weekend, you beautiful bastards.